Hi there and welcome to Andertons drum channel with myself, Colin.
I'm Rob.
And what we're looking at today, Rob?
Today we're doing a dude's name called James Sullivan.
Dude's name, James Sullivan, also known as the Rev or the Reverend Bartholomew Plague. Rest in peace. What an absolute shame.
Yeah, so this one we're just going to totally do not on a budget.
Yeah, just in his honour, like an absolute prodigy. You know, this has been massively asked for. So he's obviously, you know,
and we've got a massive kit.
Exactly. So he's not just a drummer though. He's a songwriter and he's also a backing vocalist. So some of the songs we're looking at today, well, one of them, Almost Easy, he was a major part of it. But it's also good to note that we're also looking at Nightmare, but the demo version, where it was actually Mike Portnoy who actually played on the track.
Yeah, so obviously the band have had a few drummers. So
Aaron Illajay, I'm sorry if I pronounced your surname wrong.
And Brooke Wackham.
Brooke Wackham? Wackerman.
No, it's Wackham.
Wackham.
He's a drummer.
Wackham ring.
So because we haven't got a budget,
we can do anything we want.
Well, I was just thinking, because I googled how big his drum kit was.
It's
3 bass drums.
Huge. 3 bass drums. We have to do that 3 bass drum setup.
So obviously you have 3 legs, right?
I do. Let's not go too far down that road.
2 of them are usable. Anyway.
It is worth noting I'm going to use a double kick pedal.
Just
for ease of recording and things like that.
2 of them.
So we are cheating a little bit.
Yeah, 2 of them are purely
aesthetic.
Vanity. They're just there.
So have you got any ideas of
But
sometimes
he's got toms, doesn't he?
He's got 2 8s sometimes, but you know, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 gong drum, and then obviously.
Aren't they all racks as well?
It's
None
all
of them are floors.
on a mega rack.
Yeah, so
mega.
I'm thinking we've either got the Todd Zuckerman kit that's got enough drums.
Yeah.
Or we've got.
Have we got anything else? Because you've already done.
Well,
Sound Like Zuckerman.
the one we used for Vinnie Paul, which we've already used. But we have got a couple, I think, down the warehouse. And one of them is the black one, I think, is the Mapex Versatus kit.
Let's have a look.
Which, let's see how bad I am at spelling. So I'm thinking, because it's got nearly everything we need.
That is almost perfect. I mean, we're probably minus the 8-inch, isn't it, really?
Yeah, we've got a black one of these down the road, which is a display one.
Have we got a rack that we can properly set that up?
Yeah, we'll get... Well, because we're going to have to do something with the bass drum. So yeah, rack is going to be easier over the other 2 bass drums.
So if we've got like a 3-piece or a 2-piece racks, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we get a 3-sider and somehow fit it around the bass drums. Cool. So that gets us pretty much everything. But snare drum, he uses a bronze drum, doesn't he? So
do we have anything that's like quite similar to that? I mean, a lot of like...
I mean, I think we've got a thick brass one.
Thick brass? I mean, that is relatively close. I mean, you just need that huge, warm pang when rim shotting.
Well, he absolutely cranks it as well, doesn't he?
It's a huge drum sound, to be fair.
This is a really deep, fat brass drum, but I'm thinking of
a rusty bad boy, as it were.
Well, it's patinaed, but we'll go with that.
Of course.
But I can crank that.
Yeah.
I mean, this 1.5 mil thick is pretty thick brass drum.
Well, hopefully we'll get that huge, full-bodied sound.
So we'll crank that. That one's nice and easy. Cymbals. I mean, he's got so many Sabians.
Cymbals are going to be tricky because he uses... So he's got 14 accelerator hats. I think that'll be relatively easy to do.
We must have them, sure.
Try to just have a quick look.
Sabian 14s.
I mean, the majority of them are AAX. So he does use quite a mirrored setup. So 2 of the same rides, the 22 metal, that might be a little bit tricky to do.
Yeah, we won't have 2 of those.
2 19 extreme Chinas. Then he's got a 19 and an 18, or an 18-19 rather, metal crashes, which again might be a little bit tricky to source.
Yeah.
And then we've got a 10, 11 splashes, a chopper, and a little mini China, which is a 12 HH.
Okay. Let's start with hats.
Mm-hmm. So we're out of stock of the AAX accelerators. What about explosions?
We got them.
Okay, wicked. Well, let's go for those. They're
going to be pretty close.
Yeah, it's not a bad sub for it.
They're slightly thinner. Let's start splashes then. How many bloody splashes?
So
chopper. Chopper's easy.
A 10 and an 11. 11 is going to be super difficult to source.
Zildjian made an 11.
Yeah.
The K hybrid. Right, what size chopper?
Chopper is an 8, I believe.
Oh, they don't make that anymore, so let's see if we got a 10.
Okay. For that. Such a weird cymbal.
Yeah, we don't have them, so
it's not the end of the world.
Are you even going to hit it on any of the tunes you're playing?
That's a very good point. I mean, I would if it was there. It's one of those things, isn't it?
Okay, we'll skip that.
Okay.
Splashes, China, little...
10. So let's start with the 10 AAX. I'm relatively confident that will be in stock.
Okay, normal, regular AAA.
Try just the standard one, yeah.
So well, there's all the holy ones and things as well there. Bosch, easy, one of those.
Wicked.
Man, our cymbals are already racking up.
So the racking up.
We're like 500 quid in already.
So the other one is an 11 Max Splash, which we definitely
we won't
100% won't.
Are
there any other, maybe I don't know, maybe an HH Splash?
We 10 we'll probably have, and a 12 I'd hope. But let's have a look.
Yeah. So we've got one in stock.
Yeah, this one is already going to be a weird one.
Why is that?
Because you'll keep trying to find that. That's in quarantine.
I did wonder.
I used that for an appointment on Saturday. So.
Oh, okay. So effectively, we have to quarantine our gear for 48 hours.
So.
Safety first.
Switch it over. What have we got?
I have a feeling we don't have any other AAX splashes in stock. So there's actually.
Why don't we just go for a Dream? Because that's going to be nice and dark, but actually
it'll be the same. Yeah, it'll be a lot deeper pitch. Do we have maybe a Bliss or a Contact?
I was just going to put Dream 10 and see what comes up. Oh wow! I mean, our website's amazing. It comes up with a Contact or a crop circle.
Well, we can always use a crop circle. I mean, it's a frisbee.
I mean, we could use that as a chopper because just put that on top of another cymbal.
I always feel like they're going to scratch.
Yeah,
the
they've got
hell
a really
out
thick bolt.
Cymbal. Yeah, it's a little bit sketch.
There we go. We got
Wicked.
one of those.
Okay, so we've got both.
So that's all the small things.
Splashes, all the
18 AAX.
Oh no, not yet. We need the little China. He uses it a 12 HH Mini Chinese. Now I think that's the same thing has happened with that, where we've got that in quarantine, but we do have a 10 in stock.
Okay, we'll just use the 10.
Sling that on.
So that's all the little ones.
That's all the little ones. Then we need
crash 18.
18. So let's do an 18 and 19.
AAX explosion, yeah.
AAX explosion, yeah.
18s. We're looking for an explosion.
So 18 and 19. I reckon both explosions because it's going to be very, very difficult to get the metal ones.
Oh, we must have them in stock. Bosch.
Sweet. So what about 19 as well? Because those will have that vicious attack that we need.
That's also what he actually uses, right?
No, he uses AAX metal
okay.
which we won't have.
Yeah, it's in stock.
In stock.
So
okay.
Right size and pretty close.
So
rides?
He uses 22 metal AAX rides.
Yeah, we won't have that.
We won't have those.
Yep, 21 explosion.
Cool. So
man, we're racking up cymbals. They're all like 200 and 300 quid, and the splash is like 100.
It's going to be such a mega setup.
Yeah, sorry.
So the 222s again are going to be, because we don't do the metal series, so we've gone for a 21.
That will match the crashes at least.
21 explosion ride. Is it hither?
Yeah, it's in stock.
It's in stock.
We might have to order that from the warehouse though.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. What do you reckon for a second one then? Because obviously he uses the same too, so he's got that kind of ping. And I only really use that. The left-hand ride is only used once.
Are you using it for the bell or the body?
Bell. Hopefully I hit the bell properly. But yeah.
I mean, something with a big bell. Legacy, they have big bells.
Yeah. Maybe a 22 if we got. So 22 Legacy will have that nice little ping.
It's got a strong bell on it, and we've got it in stock.
Wicked. Okay, so
that's nearly 400 quid. So we're well over
wicked
$2,000 for cymbals so far.
And the kit's almost $5,000.
That's just shells. So
just shells as well. So
snares another 600 and something.
My God,
so
this is gonna be amazing.
But we haven't finished yet. Chinese.
Okay, so Chinese is the last thing. So he again uses 219 extremes. So we've definitely got one then.
We've also got the Holy China. That's 19.
Well, should we use that on the left hand then?
Okay, so
we've got nine. So there we go.
Two 19s, but one will be a Holy. Let's see if the Holy China's in stock.
Yeah.
No, we've got one in stock.
Oh, so we have got one of the 19s. So let's use those two then.
So we've got 2 rides, 2 Chinas, 3 splashes and a China thing.
Wicked. Just no
crashes.
chopper. That's the only thing. Everything's
we didn't have a chopper.
Wicked.
Heads. We're using the stock heads on all the drums actually.
Which will be
apart from the bass drum.
Well.
Bass drum we put a front head in with a hole and an EMAD on. So that's the only one we're changing. That's all the drums. And
double pedal is the last thing.
You're just going to use yours, right?
I'm going to use my 9000 because I absolutely adore them. Just again,
that's another
comfort, just
550 quid.
the quicker little flicks. So I think that's everything done.
Hardware, we'll just get a rack and loads of booms.
Of course.
Loads of booms. Obviously, the kit we're using's got those like newfangled magnetic
ones where you can
tom
the
arms.
magnetic, we can manipulate the tone of the.
It's cool, man.
The pits of the toms. It's a fascinating bit of gear, isn't it?
I will then just find 2 black drum kits that we have in stock and then steal the bass drums.
Wicked. Yeah. So then we'll have that proper 3 kit set up.
There'll be 3 different brands, but we'll have 3 black bass drums.
Awesome. Well, hopefully I do him justice. Let's check out how the Rev sounds. So I hope you liked our interpretation of the late, great The Rev. How do you think we got on?
I think it was quite cool. Snare is probably the closest thing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a ridiculous setup. I mean, like, I just some of the parts were a little bit, well, I say a little bit, some of it was ridiculously hard.
Yeah,
I'm just not used to that kind of setup.
It's also big up your playing because you're practicing it on your kit at home and then we're throwing you into this
a little TD9 electric kit.
There we go.
Then, well, hopefully it came off and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I think the only thing is obviously we used actual floor toms rather than like
Yeah,
racks.
obviously because the rack just kind of goes up and up and up.
Yeah, he literally racks everything.
It's crazy, isn't it?
So,
I liked your little makeshift for the little China boy, which attach a boom arm to a boom arm.
Yeah, a grabber arm off of another boom arm is pretty sketch, but it worked.
No, it worked really well.
Then cable round it. It was perfect.
It's perfect, yeah.
And then hi-hat stand I clamped to the rack so it didn't fall
Oh
over
yeah,
for
that
the
was
bass
knocking
drum.
as well. That was a little bit awkward, but that was a good shout with that as well, definitely.
If you are setting up 3 bass drums, which I can't imagine many people actually do.
I can't think of a single other player off the top of my head that does a similar idea with that.
Alex Van Halen does, and the far right one is a fridge.
And the far right one is a fridge?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
If you are, the 2 rack sidebar combo does actually work quite well.
Oh, wicked. So, I mean, just a bit about the Rev as well, like what an absolute influencer, and just again, another great that's been taken away before his time. Massive influences by Dave Lombardo and especially Vinnie Paul. You can massively hear it in his kind of pulse, but it's like Vinnie Paul, but on steroids. Which, it was a lot of fun learning his parts and stuff, but especially that Beast and the Harlot is, those single strokes are like 230 BPM. So my hands are like,
and you get a bit sweaty.
Yeah. So lastly, he had such an influence on actually writing the songs as we mentioned earlier. He also played keyboard and sang, was lead vocalist in a band called Pinkly Smooth, which, you can tell he's just an all-rounder musician. Just what a fascinating dude to explore.
It is funny when you can see a drummer who plays other instruments. They tend to play in a certain way rather than just straight Phil Rudd who just plays drums.
Definitely more of a musician rather than a percussionist. So I hope you liked our interpretation of the Rev, again, the late great, rest in peace. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I've been Colin.
I've been Rob.
And we'll see you next time.